do? Councilman Montner from the public first, do you mind? No. Okay. Let's hear from the public real quick.
Joshua Black.
Well, if I would have known it was you, I would.
I'm teasing you. I love you. You know the old adage about when the coach stops yelling at you, that's when you're in trouble, right?
Okay.
It would have been cool with me if you would let me. Okay. This body has heard me address the racism behind gun control laws, and you have not heard me address the racism. Cannabis was renamed marijuana to poison the minds of English speakers against this amazing plant. The propaganda has clearly been effective because police today still lock people in steel cages just for having it. It's ludicrous. What's worse is that while blacks and whites use the plant falsely called marijuana, and about the same cops still lock black at twice the per capita rate of whites for the possession of this plant. Even more idiotic is the claim that these arrests deter use. The percentage of the population that uses drugs the government keeps pretending are too dangerous for human consumption hasn't changed. The war on drugs was declared during the Nixon administration. The truth is that the drugs are winning the war on drugs, but the police departments, including this one, keep insisting on maintaining what ought to be a distant relic of America's racist past. The reason is pretty obvious. The federal government gives out crime-fighting grants for local law enforcement agencies that imprison people over substance possession. Notice I did not say substance abuse. It is true that some people in possession of the substances unjustly controlled by the federal government may indeed abuse them, but that is not what the government punishes them for. Possession or sale are the offenses, not addiction, which can't be treated by incarceration anyway. The goal of this wicked practice of putting image bearers of the God in cages over plants isn't to cure addiction, but to secure funding. It is the greed of local bureaucrats that keeps the legacy of racism alive. You would think that people of color would recognize this and not participate in such a wicked system, but the propaganda has been so ubiquitous and effective that for many years I didn't even recognize it myself. It took an old white Republican congressman running for president, Ron Paul, to get me to reconsider my erroneous position on this immoral war on drugs. I still don't expect ever to use cannabis for any reason, unless I someday get cancer. The people in our police department have no excuse. They know what the deal is. They choose to be greedy instead of godly, to pad pensions instead of setting captives free. In this, they violate God's commandment to punish evildoers by allowing unjust men to falsely declare innocent people to be guilty by using a false standard of right and wrong. Then they willingly impose these unjust sentences on these victims of government overreach and ruin their lives, all for a paycheck and a pension. Think Judas Iscariot sold himself short.
You don't have to, but if you want to respond, you don't have to. Mr. Montanari.
Thank you, Mr. Sheriff. Thank you, Chief. Always great to see you, and thank you again for your strong leadership of our great police department. Can you talk a little bit about the auto